You know, I'm still gonna love this game no matter what happens. Like, I just wish I could have known how badly I was messing up.
No one cares about him. He deserved to die.
About 20,000, regretting it so bad. He started saying he was going to kill himself.
Police say this man used a popular gaming app to track her down and start an inappropriate relationship.
"25 Disturbing Roblox Controversies, 7 levels. This is an iceberg containing the most disturbing controversies ever to hit Roblox. We'll begin with the strange and more familiar controversies and work our way to the really unsettling ones that have shaken the platform. Let's start at the tip of the iceberg. Level 1. PewDiePie ban. In early 2019, PewDiePie, the most subscribed YouTuber at the time, was in a subscriber war with T-Series, an Indian music channel that was threatening to take his crown. The war escalated from videos to Times Square ads and even representation at the Super Bowl. But now, PewDiePie was determined to win with Roblox. But just days after streaming the game to nearly 120,000 viewers, a move that actually did briefly widen his lead over T-Series, he found his account had been terminated for no clear reason. Well, actually, that's not true. The reason Roblox gave was that the name of the game world he created was inappropriate for the game. The world's name was Pewdie123T23's Place. It didn't sit well with his viewers, who unanimously agreed that the presence of the word die was a real stretch. But when the media asked Roblox directly for comment, a staff member gave an entirely different reason for the ban, saying that it stemmed from continued inappropriate behavior tied to external controversies unrelated to the game. They were referring to PewDiePie's history of promoting harmful content, including a 2017 incident where he paid 2 men $5 each to display an anti-Semitic sign, and his, what he claimed to be, accidental endorsement of an anti-Semitic YouTube channel. Roblox community guidelines, which prohibit hate speech and discriminatory behavior, were retroactively applied to his account as a result. And of course, what followed was a chaotic ripple effect. Any player found wearing a "Subscribe to PewDiePie" shirt faced suspensions, while Roblox quietly blocked all new usernames containing Pewdie. It all seemed like an effort to make the ban less targeted. Fans revolted immediately. They revolted so aggressively that the social media backlash forced Roblox to walk back the ban within 48 hours, claiming they'd incorrectly targeted PewDiePie's legacy account while maintaining their prohibition on Pewdie memes. Yet, the damage lingered. Ordinary players reporting encounters with PewDiePie-themed content found themselves banned, their appeals denied under Roblox's zero-tolerance policy. The platform's automated moderation systems appeared to conflate casual references to the YouTuber with actual policy violations. PewDiePie described the whole situation as an oopsie and moved on, but many of his fans never forgave Roblox. Trump account takeover. In June 2020, hackers breached thousands of Roblox accounts, replacing profile bios with "Ask your parents to vote for Trump this year. #MAGA2020. Avatars were forcibly dressed in red caps resembling Trump's Make America Great Again merchandise and patriotic t-shirts featuring eagles and American flags. Within a month, over 2,000 accounts showed these same changes, with Google indexing some 1,700 profiles, all displaying the same slogan. The attacks exposed the shockingly weak security practices being used in Roblox. It took very little effort on the part of the hackers, who just used brute force techniques to guess passwords, targeting accounts with reused or easily guessable credentials. Lists of stolen Roblox usernames and passwords circulated openly online, enabling the attackers to bypass security without issue. Many victims admitted they hadn't enabled Roblox's two-step verification, which could have blocked unauthorized logins. Soon enough, the hacking spree just snowballed, with 500 accounts compromised in the first wave, doubling to 1,200 within a week, then surpassing 2,000 by July. It was an unimaginable security failure. And, most disturbingly, the campaign used the children's accounts to amplify its reach. Hackers messaged victims' entire friends lists, urging support for Trump, and even accepted pending friend requests to spam more users. British players who couldn't even vote in the US elections also received the messages because the hackers weren't interested in vetting anything, only spamming. Roblox remained silent for days as the hacks spread, leaving users to scrub their profiles manually. Security experts urged password changes and 2SV activation, but it was too late by that point. The platform had exposed itself as unsafe. It's never been confirmed nor disproven whether the hack had anything to do with Trump's campaign itself, but the damage was so extensive that Roblox players immediately took more determined measures to protect themselves. Level 2. The 2014 Roblox 24-hour live stream.
Well, it won't take you long to realize that Roblox doesn't give a f about our department.
In 2014, Roblox launched a 24-hour charity live stream as a goodwill initiative for Extra Life, featuring developers and admins showcasing their games to a young viewing audience. That didn't quite go to plan. Midway through the event, hosts Jack's Smirking Revenge and British Shift believed their microphones were off during a break. Unaware the stream was still live, they vented their frustrations about Roblox's management, claiming the company neglected their department and calling their roles expendable. Those supposedly off-mic remarks escalated to obscenities, including a staffer joking about deleting user accounts in response to threats. "I'll delete your accounts." Bob comes upstairs. "Michael, you can't tweet that." The unedited audio aired for minutes before the team realized that everybody could hear them. The clips spread rapidly, exposing Roblox's internal tensions to the world, or its predominantly underage audience.
A new computer, so we just were like, "Hey, Leif, we need stuff," and he's like, "Okay, fine." Just like, I was like, "Oh, cool, that happened." So it was like, yeah.
Like, I built that computer from scratch, and because, like, this wasn't happening, we couldn't get any traction on anything, and we needed a computer, so I just bought the parts and built it. At the end of the day, I think we're so expendable here.
I'm sure you guys have budget for it.
Expendable? Are you kidding? No way. No, we're not important to the grand scheme of. This is an engineering company, you know what I mean? It's like.
The backlash was immediate. Within days, Roblox terminated both hosts and permanently banned their accounts. Jack's Smirking Revenge later admitted his comments were truthful but regretted airing them on the platform. Roblox scrubbed all traces of the stream, filing copyright claims to erase re-uploads. The company's CEO addressed the incident vaguely, emphasizing values, while internal memos framed it as a breach of professionalism. Community reactions were split. Some sympathized with the fired admins, calling the punishment excessive, while others condemned the lapse in judgment on the part of the former employees. Roblox abandoned official live streams by 2019, opting for tighter controlled PR to prevent further incidents like this one. Roblox broke its own terms of service. One of the core rules inside Roblox is a clear ban on romantic interactions within the game. Its restricted content policy explicitly bans real-world romantic relationships, flirtatious gestures, and explicit conversations to protect its predominantly underage user base. Yet, as many have pointed out, the company's public-facing marketing strategies have repeatedly betrayed this rule. While executives promote their moderation tools and stricter policies, their TikTok page has often highlighted stories of users bonding through shared gameplay and falling in love, subtly endorsing relationships that blurred platform guidelines. In fact, they seem to embrace the idea of people falling in love and marrying, even sharing stories of Roblox love that seem to pretty clearly endorse the idea of finding your soulmate on the platform. And that's not the worst part of it all. In 2023, Roblox announced plans to launch 17+ experiences, including dating-focused games and video chat features, framing them as tools for adults to form real-life relationships. The move triggered immediate backlash, with critics noting that 17-year-olds aren't legally adults and that age verification systems are easily bypassed. Reddit users warned the update would attract more than teenagers, or even just clear grooming risks. These concerns weren't unfounded. Court records detail cases like Clinton McElroy, a registered offender who traded Robux for explicit images from an 8-year-old girl. This happens a disturbing amount on the platform. Not that the Roblox team seems to care. A 2022 internal guide obtained by Bloomberg lacked any mention of grooming, and employees admitted relying on user reports to flag predators. Meanwhile, predators openly discussed tactics on darknet forums, like using coded emojis to lure children to less moderated platforms. For many, Roblox's push into adult dating was just negligence dressed up to look progressive. Level 3. GameBot Scammers. Every day on Roblox, players are receiving a DM from a strange person offering to buy an abandoned Roblox project or group. Those players, sensing an opportunity to profit from something they worked hard on but could never finish, can't resist. They click the link only to allow malware-laced software to inject itself into their browser. Within minutes, their entire account is drained, all of their Robux siphoned through automated marketplace purchases, and their rare items deleted to erase evidence. They have no idea what happened. They just got scammed out of everything. These bots, which may come in the form of friend requests, group invites, or these sketchy links, exist only to scam children and users out of everything they have. But behind them lies an elaborate network of professionals who have turned child exploitation into a lucrative business. High-value accounts face the worst treatment of all. Targeted scripts check if your inventory exceeds 2,000 Robux or matches a hit list of valuable users. If so, attackers deploy cookie-stealing code to hijack your sessions outright. The stolen accounts then funnel into black market Discord servers like The Stock, where digital assets are resold for real cash, and there's nothing you can do. One story saw a child falling prey to a fake verification portal mimicking Roblox's login page. After entering their credentials, the attackers gained full access, no malware required. Within seconds, they took his entire online identity, stripping years of progress. Roblox's countermeasures have largely backfired. When comment sections became bot-infested wastelands promoting scams, the company disabled them entirely, punishing legitimate users instead of fixing the security gaps. Group ownership transfers now risk instant takeover by bots, which seize control the moment an owner leaves. One creator watched helplessly as a bot stole his 50,000 Robux group treasury, later traced to a Discord server laundering stolen goods. This happens every day, but there's little to nothing that can be done to try and stop it. However, if you want to prevent this channel from stopping, please subscribe. Thanks. Roblox furry communities. Given that it's the world's largest gaming platform for kids, Roblox will inevitably host millions of user-created experiences, many of which will be built specifically for subcultures that aren't so mainstream. But the furry community is very unique. These spaces, inspired by the furry fandom's anthropomorphic animal characters, range from social hangouts to chaotic infection-style games. Many of these are pretty harmless, just full of people who want to roleplay as animals. But some blur the lines with unsettling adult-themed mechanics. In February 2025, Roblox sparked outrage after promoting furry infection on its homepage. The game involves furries infecting humans by tackling them while suggestive liquid sounds play. The game has over 128 million visits and allows furries to trigger transformations accompanied by muffled, visceral audio and messages like, "You've been infected." Critics argued the mechanics mirrored fetishized roleplay, exposing minors to implicit themes. Despite reports, Roblox took weeks to act, fueling yet more accusation of lax moderation. But these kinds of furry-centric games like Kaiju Paradise and Furana dominate Roblox. They're built to mix social customization with clunky combat systems, and many of them hide a more sinister underbelly. Prominent furry creators often get exposed for improper conduct. YouTuber Nitro Lord, known for Roblox documentaries, was revealed to have alt accounts retweeting not-safe-for-work furry art and hosting all-ages kink-themed parties. It became difficult for many to separate the platform from its creators. Of course, the challenge for Roblox is how to balance the creative freedom of the communities while prioritizing child safety. 2012 April Fool's Hack. On April 1, 2012, hackers exploited a critical oversight in Roblox's test servers, where admin-level accounts could be created using real administrator usernames. By copying authentication tokens from these test accounts to the live site, they gained unrestricted access to back-end tools, and that gave them a horrifying amount of control. The group unleashed chaos. They unblocked banned accounts, slashed prices of premium accessories to 1 Robux, flooded the catalog with unfinished assets, and altered website banners to display taunts like, "I'm the annoying orange." Moderator accounts were hijacked to post offensive content while Robux generators bypassed payment systems entirely. Suddenly, the in-game economy was at risk of collapsing altogether. Users bought high-value limiteds for pennies, and unchecked Robux inflation ran rampant. When the platform abruptly went offline, players discovered purchases reverted or accounts banned retroactively for exploiting the sale, even though many had no idea what was going on. Staff accounts were also compromised and later purged entirely. It was a disaster. While Roblox restored service within 24 hours, the catalog remained closed until April 2nd. The hackers were banned, but collateral damage included many innocent accounts who were caught in transaction rollbacks. The test server vulnerabilities were patched, but not before the breach exposed how easily a $700 million platform in 2012 could be derailed. Ruben Sim. Ruben Sim's YouTube channel is focused on one thing and one thing alone: Roblox's moderation system failures. Ruben has over 1 million subscribers, all of whom support his content, which is all about exposing the disaster that is Roblox. Even though the company markets itself as a safe space for children, Ruben is constantly exposing its vulnerabilities, often through satire, controversy, and direct confrontation. Every video dissects some latest failure in moderation, from lax age filters to predatory adults exploiting young users, but Roblox fought back. In 2021, the company sued Ruben for $1.6 million, alleging he led a cyber mob to harass employees, spread terrorist threats, and bypass bans using VPNs and fan-supplied accounts. The lawsuit accused him of posting a fake bomb threat during a Roblox conference, triggering a police lockdown, and attempting to upload a nude photo of himself and images of Adolf Hitler. A court later ordered him to pay $150,000 and permanently banned him from the platform. But he never stopped, arguing that the lawsuit is a manufactured distraction tactic to suppress him and get people to ignore the real problem, that the platform allows the exploitation of children. His videos mock moderators for inconsistently enforcing rules, banning games with extreme blood while ignoring predatory behavior. Case in point, Dr. Rofatnik, a user accused of grooming minors through Roblox. Though Roblox eventually banned Doc, Ruben praised the decision but criticized their delayed response, calling it a pattern of negligence, one that has been repeated by many other victims of the platform. His self-styled grassroots moderation system encouraged users to report inappropriate content directly to him, claiming Roblox's team ignored their complaints. To some, Ruben is a vigilante doing what must be done to protect vulnerable children on a platform that is paying no attention to a real issue. But to others, he's just a troll feeding on the vulnerable to try and upset people. Search blocks. In late 2022, a Chrome extension called Search Blocks was available, marketed as a tool to help Roblox players quickly find servers. Users loved the idea of it, making it easier than ever to find what they were looking for and get into their games. But those users quickly began noticing their Robux balances plummeting overnight, while limited edition virtual items vanished from their inventories entirely. It didn't take long before they realized it was this new extension that was causing it. In fact, the extension's code exploited Roblox's trading platform, Rollamons, scanning accounts for high-value assets and initiating unauthorized trades without the user's awareness. The Trojan horse had been installed by over 200,000 users, hiding malicious code that siphoned Roblox credentials, Robux, and rare in-game items. Behind the chaos was a developer identified as Unstoppable Lucent, whose Roblox account was terminated amid reports of sudden, suspicious inventory spikes. In fact, the malicious extensions had flown under the radar for months. Even as users flagged odd behavior like ads injected into search results, Google took no action until researchers intervened. By then, victims had lost millions of Robux, with some items sold on gray market platforms for real cash. But even though Google moved to remove search blocks, the hacker wasn't happy to just let this go and move on to something else. He had allegedly offered $10,000 to developers of legitimate Roblox extensions to embed similar backdoors that he could profit from. One target, the creator of the Row Gold extension, refused and exposed the attempt. This hacker was insanely bold and brazen in his desire to scam the players. Meanwhile, Roblox's support team scrambled to restore stolen assets while players grappled with the fallout, changing passwords, purging cookies, and questioning the safety of non-official third-party tools. In fact, what had unsettled the community most wasn't just the scale of the theft, but the betrayal of trust. Search blocks had been promoted as a convenience, a way to streamline gameplay and make it more enjoyable and convenient for the player. But it exploited those users who had good intentions. Suddenly, every helpful tool had to be questioned, and nothing in Roblox could be trusted anymore. Level 4. Digital Child Labor. In early 2024, a class action lawsuit against Roblox asked some tough, uncomfortable questions about how the in-game economy worked. The platform is built to allow users to create games and sell virtual items for Robux, its in-game currency. But converting those digital earnings to real cash requires jumping through hoops. A minimum of 30,000 Robux, that's roughly $375, and a paid subscription. Most of the young developers, who are around 9 to 12 years old, never meet these thresholds, leaving their labor effectively trapped in Roblox's ecosystem. Critics have said that it's essentially a system built to prevent the developers from being able to profit from their work. In fact, it's even worse than it sounds. Developers earn Robux for their creations, but Roblox takes up to 75% of every transaction. That means a $4.99 purchase nets the company $3.74, while the creators get $1.25, despite having done most of the work. All of that despite the fact that Roblox generated $2.7 billion from Robux sales in 2023, much of that from minors buying currency to spend on games built by other kids. The lawsuit argued this structure amounts to exploitation, with children spending countless hours designing games and virtual items, only to see Roblox profit disproportionately from work they had no direct hand in. One former Roblox moderator described the platform's youth developers as digital sweatshop workers, noting many labor under the false promise of serious cash promoted by Roblox. And to make it even worse, the game rarely gains traction without paid advertising bids, which are also purchased with Robux. The criticism has become so loud and common that the Roblox studio head, Stefano Carrazza, had to acknowledge it, saying, "You can say, okay, we're exploiting child labor," before pivoting to frame it as a job creation for young people. It was widely criticized as a poor argument, but it's one they're sticking with. The company emphasizes that most successful creators are adults, yet its own policies allow 13-year-olds to monetize content. Over 1,300 child exploitation reports were filed with authorities in 2023 alone, though Roblox claims violations affect just 0.0063% of content. The legal challenges keep coming, though. A 2024 lawsuit alleges the platform's design addicts children while extracting value from their unpaid labor. For many young creators, the math remains bleak. Hours of work for pennies while corporate profits hit billions annually. Lisa Gaming. In 2017, a new Roblox channel joined YouTube. Lisa Gaming Roblox initially peddled absurd tutorials and fake exposés of popular creators like Flamingo and Koneko Kitten, videos which were full of baseless accusations, jarring audio, and erratic editing. Of course, it didn't matter. The videos existed only to provoke outrage in anybody who paid attention to them. Anytime that fans of her targets flooded her comments with hate, engagement metrics soared. By 2019, her subscriber count had ballooned from 5,000 to over 150,000, fueled largely by the Bloxburg incident. During this extremely cruel stunt, she infiltrated players' in-game homes, deleted their progress, and flaunted the destruction in videos. The backlash was immediate, with bans, petitions, and viral condemnation following, but she didn't care. Lisa's calculated persona thrived on the infamy, even mocking victims by claiming she did them a favor by destroying ugly houses. She was a bully, but the persona was one thing. Her real personality was not any better. Leaked Discord messages and a crowdsourced exposé called the Lisa Files revealed that she was using her platform to harass minors, share explicit content, and associate with people linked to child exploitation. In one recorded instance, she allegedly solicited nudes from underage fans, offering moderator roles in exchange for their offerings, and later blackmailed victims into silence. Former collaborators accused her of doxing rivals, spreading racist slurs, and privately circulating gore videos to minors. This proved to be something that even Lisa couldn't handle. With the world widely criticizing her, she posted graphic self-harm imagery and vanished from YouTube entirely. But those who hated her were unsure if she really meant it or if this was just another one of her elaborate stunts. Sure enough, months later, she returned, taunting critics with a Discord announcement, "I'm finally back, are you ready?" But by then, her community was divided between those who dismissed her as a character and her victims who knew what she was capable of. Her comeback failed before it could even take off. Crosswoods. When the game first hit the platform, Crosswoods seemed like another quirky Roblox horror game. But those who jumped in to start playing soon discovered that the game was far more horrific than they could have imagined. Clark T1000 was one of many streamers who started playing the game during his broadcast only to get jump-scared in the worst way. Suddenly his screen flashed red, his character disconnected, and his account vanished mid-stream, with Roblox informing him that he'd been permanently banned from Roblox. And he started crying, devastated by it. He had no idea what he did wrong. He did nothing at all. But actually, he did. Playing the game was the problem. The game exploited Roblox's automated moderation by injecting banned phrases into players' chat logs, triggering instant bans ranging from 7 days to permanent termination. Clark T1000 was just one of many streamers who fell victim to this twisted game. Roblox quickly became aware of what was going on, but their delayed response only made the problem worse. When Crosswoods was removed from the platform, its code was just slipped into other games, like Hidden Destiny and Silence Beta, which once again forced bans on unsuspecting users, even as Roblox tried to stamp out the problem. The fixes they implemented could not stop the game quickly enough, and appeals from banned players went unanswered for weeks as they tried to navigate the new breed of game. The company eventually issued hardware bans against exploiters and tightened chat security, but the Crosswoods blueprint inspired a wave of imitators. Hackers adapted methods, with one game teleporting players to banned zones automatically, while others used fake moderation warnings to trick users into self-reporting. The trap games were indistinguishable from the real thing, making it impossible for people to figure it out. The hackers started taking original, popular titles and cloning them with the stolen code, creating a horrific bait and switch with a cost. Jared Valdez. Plagiarism is inevitable in a game like Roblox, but Jared Valdez really took it to a new level. Using various accounts with different names, he made it into a career. Jared would seek out the most popular games on the platform and systematically copy them, rebranding them as his own creations and amassing tens of millions of plays with absolutely no work required. He had lifted the entire thing, from the maps to the mechanics and assets, exploiting any uncopy-locked game he could to bypass allegations of hacking. But many developers insisted that their games were never intentionally left open to be stolen. However, stealing games was not the only problem. Many people stole games and passed them off as their own. Jared was a different breed of liar. He cloned groups like Vortex Security and Studio AR, replicating their logos, training facilities, and even uniforms. At his peak, all of these lies ended up generating an estimated 1.4 million Robux, over 10,000 US dollars, from stolen content, with VIP passes and other monetization strategies compounding his profits. The community backlash was visceral. Players organized harassment campaigns, tracking him in-game to voice their disdain and hatred for him. And Roblox didn't like him either. Valdez first crossed the platform by creating Faceblocks, a Facebook clone hosting unauthorized Roblox content, leading to his initial termination. But he just kept coming back under new usernames, only to repeat the same copycat methods. He was banned repeatedly, always finding a way around the moderation. The final strike came when he openly sold limited edition virtual items for real-world cash, a direct violation of Roblox's terms. By 2018, all his accounts were banned, and typing his name into Roblox chats triggered automatic censorship. Years later, Valdez resurfaced on YouTube apologizing for his actions as a kid who didn't know better, an argument that didn't go down well with anybody. In 2024, he threatened to sue Roblox, demanding reinstatement of accounts he claimed were now worth over $1 million due to rare limited items. The move was widely dismissed. Roblox prohibits converting virtual goods into real currency, and his history of TOS violations undermined any legal footing. He was just looking for attention. Despite attempts to rebrand as a commentator on politics and gaming, Valdez's name still evokes resentment. Former victims of his plagiarism dismiss his apologies, while newer players encounter his story only through archived YouTube rants and wiki pages. Otherwise, he's irrelevant. Level 5. Redbox. Imagine that the platform is built on the ability to create freely. It's been unsurprisingly difficult for Roblox to try and prevent these games from breaching content policies. But Redbox 2 was one of the biggest challenges they've faced yet. Redbox 2 gained notoriety almost as soon as it was uploaded due to its visceral violence, allowing players to dismember avatars with shotguns, chainsaws, and explosives, leaving trails of dismembered limbs and blood-splattered environments. The game basically existed only for players to burn bodies, blow torsos apart, and spawn dummies for target practice, all features that players described as the bloodiest and most violent on Roblox. So naturally, the Roblox moderation team removed it for violating content guidelines. But in typical Roblox nature, the game was resurrected with hundreds of clones mirroring the gameplay. One would be taken down, and 2 more would take its place. One stolen version earned its uploader over $8,000 before it was taken down entirely. Determined to get the game back on the market, the developer attempted to relaunch it with a sanitized version that stripped out the gore to comply with rules, but the players overwhelmingly rejected it, calling the watered-down experience mid. The players wanted the game's unrestrained violence, with one noting that it let them get inner demons out by killing real people. That's a pretty clear and disturbing contrast to Roblox's child-friendly branding. And it just helped to fuel more perceptions about the company, which was already facing multiple lawsuits built around allegations that the platform was exposing minors to and highly violent content. In fact, at the time that Redbox 2 was being pulled from the marketplace and shut down repeatedly, Roblox was suing Ruben Sim for exposing their child safety failures. They seem to be more concerned with the perception of being unsafe than actually trying to do things to prevent games like Redbox 2 from being made in the first place. Roblox 3030303. One of the most legendary Roblox urban legends is the tale of Roblox 30333, Allegedly, this username was tied to a 9-year-old girl who loved Roblox, but in trying to find other people who could be her friends in this community, she shared her YouTube channel in Roblox's public forums. That was a mistake. Almost immediately, the girl faced intense and increasing waves of cyberbullying, with Roblox users mocking her videos, insulting her, flooding her inbox with threats, and sharing her personal details with the world in a public doxing attack. Her IP address was located and released in-game as if trying to intimidate the girl or threaten her in some unsettling way. Suddenly, every time she tried to play, her account was bombarded with DDoS attacks, overwhelming her connection until gameplay became impossible. That's a problem that developers still maintain is an issue today, no matter how much moderation is happening. Everything that the girl did, she was attacked and harassed in some way or another, whether through the in-game chat system or through real-life attacks on her internet and computer connection. The automated moderation was not prepared for this, and the real-life moderators could only do so much. But the legend doesn't end there. The story claims that all of this became so overwhelming and troublesome for the girl that she ended up committing suicide just to try and escape the terror and harassment. There are no official records, police reports, or verified family statements to confirm whether the girl ever existed or if any of this happened. But there are credible reported incidents of exploitation, with a 2024 investigation finding that Roblox groups are openly trading child abuse material, while parents have described children coerced into spending thousands on Robux to appease their online bullies. And Roblox didn't help. In 2022, the newly introduced voice chat feature only made the harassment feel more personal, with users finding loopholes to verbally target kids without triggering the AI moderator systems. There's just no way for the moderation system to try and avoid it. Roblox has denied any and all knowledge of the 30333 case, but has been open about the difficulties in moderating the platform. While this story might not be true, there are many others which are. Customer Service Panel hack. In May 2020, a hacker managed to access Roblox's internal systems through a side door no one expected. While most hackers use a brute force method to gain entry, this hacker found a much more convenient and low-effort route, paying a $500 bribe to a customer support employee. Suddenly, he had gained access to the platform's admin panel, a tool designed for account management that contained the sensitive data of over 100 million active users. Usually, this material was only accessible to employees responsible for resolving player issues. For days, the hacker stayed in the system looking through all of the information and seeing what he could do, pulling emails, resetting passwords, and stripping two-factor authentication from accounts, all with no approval and authority required. The hacker targeted high-profile accounts like Linkmon99, a top Roblox YouTuber, sending him unsolicited proof of access via his personal email, confirming the legitimacy of the breach. He could ban people and sell virtual items without people's consent. The accounts had been rendered vulnerable and completely powerless. Afterward, the hacker insisted that he had only done the whole thing to prove a point to the company about their security vulnerabilities and oversights. But Roblox downplayed the entire thing, stating only a very small amount of users were impacted. That wasn't really the point, though. The hacker had exposed just how vulnerable their system was. The low-paid contractors they had put in charge had no oversight, which cybersecurity experts said was a consistent flaw in many online platforms. Roblox quickly fixed the problem, but the damage to their reputation was done. They were exposed as being extremely vulnerable and unsafe, even as they downplayed the hackers' work as nothing more than a malicious intrusion. Uwu Cute Single. In Roblox content circles, Uwu Cute Single was one of the best creators of them all, blending child-friendly themes like Peppa Pig and anime with the Roblox gameplay. She had built a passionate fanbase of over 6.4 million subscribers. These largely under 13-year-old viewers flocked to watch her colorful, fast-paced shorts, but they had no idea they were being exposed to Bloxflip, a third-party gambling site she was promoting in sponsored videos. But these clips were gaining millions of views at a time, sending her fans flocking to the site to risk everything they had. Because Blox Flip was a casino allowing users to bet Robux on high-risk games like Minesweeper or virtual rocket crashes, Ooh Cute Single had made a deal with the website, with Blox Flip allegedly paying her per view and a cut of Robux wagered through her referral code. These sites were later found to be generating around $10 million annually, with Roblox taking a 30% cut on currency conversions. All of this despite Roblox's public stance against gambling. They were basically turning a blind eye to these third-party operations until the schemes were finally exposed, forcing the company to do something or risk being seen as endorsing these illegal underage gambling schemes. But the backlash to the gambling didn't bother Ooh Cute Single at all. In fact, she doubled down, mocking critics on social media, claiming Blox Flip wasn't gambling and citing its terms of service. The 14-second apology was full of stolen footage, as well as her grinning and, once again, promoting Blox Flip. She said all of the concerns and criticisms were pure hate, and told followers to touch grass while continuing to promote gambling sites. Roblox has since distanced itself from these gambling sites, which have been made illegal in some countries, but the company has long been accused of turning a blind eye to what is clearly an illegal business. Former staff of these gambling sites admitted that some 50% of smaller creators were scammed out of payments they were promised, while underage promoters faced no age verification. It's likely that Ooh Cute Single was one of these. She eventually realized the seriousness of what she did, posting a genuine apology and retracting all of it. As of 2025, her gambling-related content remains scrubbed, but the case against Roblox's lack of action is still working through the courts. Level 6. Julius Coles v2. Roblox has long had haters, and people who seem to exist for no other reason than to attack and criticize the game and its users. But none of them were quite as reviled and hated as Julius Coles v2. The first time anybody really knew him was when he brazenly stole Welcome to the Town of Robloxia, a popular game created by developer OneDev2. Julius copied the game, added free models, and republished it under his own account, falsely claiming ownership while accusing OneDev2 of plagiarizing his work. The stolen game got millions of visits, and Julius repeatedly renamed it to fake updates, manipulating players into believing it was actively maintained when he didn't do a single thing to develop it. But that was only step one. He also began a YouTube campaign targeting the Roblox staff with intensely violent words. He would regularly demand that the company headquarters be destroyed and its employees killed for largely pointless reasons or just for the sake of it. He claimed that the moderators had harassed him, despite having absolutely no proof of such claims. He would target other creators with bizarre threats, hoping to start some kind of beef with random people. Then, in 2013, Eric Cassell, Roblox's co-founder, died of cancer at the age of 45. While the user base and Roblox employees were honoring Eric's life and celebrating the world he created, Julius decided he would take a different approach, needlessly criticizing a dead guy. Julius released a series of videos attacking Eric, saying that he deserved to die. The videos were so horrifying that the Roblox community united to take him down, mass reporting him for his cruel videos and forcing an IP ban. But of course, he quickly found a way to get around that, creating new and alternate accounts. Julius was just a professional troll. But people were increasingly less interested. All he was doing was re-uploading his deleted videos to try and stay relevant, and kept upsetting people. By 2018, he was almost completely irrelevant as Roblox evolved and his antics grew tired. Julius never apologized to anybody for anything he did. He just faded into obscurity, with all of his attempted feuds totally ignored by everybody involved. The guy was a troll, and nobody cared anymore. Koneko Kitten. In the mid-2010s, Koneko Kitten was one of the greatest Roblox YouTubers in the game, making viral videos dissecting the platform and satirizing its trends. By the end of the decade, he hit 1 million subscribers and promoted his incredible story, a high school dropout turned full-time creator. But there was a lot of information that he was leaving out of his own narrative. In 2021, Koneko Kitten published a 50-page document accusing a fellow YouTuber, Narpi, of emotional manipulation and coercion. Koneko showed that Narpi, a 17-year-old, had manipulated Koneko Kitten into sending explicit photos and other sexually explicit messages. The situation was extremely troubling, and many of his fans took to social media to bully and harass Narpi for daring to do something so twisted. But 2 years later, the story changed. Koneko admitted on X that the story he shared was not the entire truth. Their interactions were always mutual, sexually charged exchanges. He had cherry-picked select excerpts from the chat logs to skew perceptions against Narpi. Narpi quickly retaliated, releasing a video that confirmed Koneko took a mutual relationship and twisted it against him. He had the receipts to prove that he solicited explicit photos from him as a minor and deleted incriminating messages to craft a one-sided narrative. Then came the rest of the allegations. Between 2023 and 2025, multiple victims came forward with their own experiences with Koneko. One 16-year-old shared evidence of his graphic messages, including discussions of pregnancy and explicit images, while he was 20. He admitted to manipulation in these exchanges, with one victim stating they'd forgiven him through coercion. The situation forced Koneko Kitten to pivot, trying to rebrand himself as a self-improvement vlogger, a pivot that rang hollow amid ongoing allegations. Eventually, he realized that the situation was not going to improve. Having damaged his own reputation beyond repair, he had no choice but to privatize his YouTube channel, erasing years of content. Some fragments of his deleted videos are still available online, including critiques of Roblox's infamously glitchy 2019 livestream. The silence since has been total. No apologies, no explanations. It's like he never existed. Jared Pogge Incident. On October 1st, 2017, a Roblox forum user named Jared Pogge123 Kaba posted a link. For the next 30 minutes, the link generated 5 pages of horrified replies, with many saying it was the web equivalent of radiation. Because when users clicked that link, they were redirected to an illegal child abuse website via the Wayback Machine. Despite the best efforts of the moderation team, the thread stayed active long enough for a lot of underage users to access the content, with some later detailing their frantic attempts to delete browser histories. This wasn't the first time it had happened, of course. The platform had long struggled with inappropriate forum posts, ranging from predatory meetup requests to graphic, violent fantasies. But this was a new and difficult problem to solve. The link's use of the Wayback Machine, a legitimate archival tool, bypassed all of the moderation filters, allowing it to spread rapidly. By December 2017, Roblox abruptly shut down its public forums, citing excessive abuse and an inability to maintain a positive environment. Roblox employees never explicitly said that it was the result of the Jared Pogge incident, but it's pretty obvious that the forums were shut down because of repeated moderation failures like this one. The forum's closure left 11.1 million posts and 1.7 million threads archived, erasing a key community hub. But the problem wasn't really solved. The predatory trolling behavior just continued through other channels, like in-game chats. Level 7. Children Gambling. In December 2024, a Sky News investigation discovered the existence of multiple unlicensed casinos that were built to target Roblox's youngest players. Roblox's rules explicitly state that all gambling is banned, yet these casinos managed to get around that law by existing outside of the game. The casinos existed in their own platforms outside of Roblox, targeting children through social media ads which promised huge winnings. Users could log in with their Roblox credentials, gamble the game's currency, Robux, and cash out any and all winnings via cryptocurrency. But of course, like all casinos, the game was heavily built to favor the platform, not the players. And unfortunately, Roblox users, 42% of which are under 12, flocked to these casinos in the hopes of beating the odds. One teenager started at 14, eventually wagering £150,000 worth of Robux, despite claiming he had no idea what gambling even was. The casino didn't hack or pressure anybody, they just made it easy. The casinos accessed Roblox accounts, converted Robux into chips, and let users bet on unregulated games. Winnings could be withdrawn as crypto, then cashed out, all while Roblox took a 30% cut on Robux transactions. Because even though the company takes a firm stance against gambling, it ignored all warnings about these casinos for years. A class action lawsuit filed by the parents of children who lost £175,000 revealed Roblox knew about Block's flip as early as 2022, but only initiated legal action in late 2024, right before the story broke. By that point, children had lost hundreds of thousands in underage gambling. And the psychological toll was intense, with one teen describing a friend's threat after a £200 loss. When the investigation went public, one of the biggest casinos, Block's Flip, announced a shutdown within 36 hours, citing pressure from Roblox's legal team. After years of turning a blind eye, the company had to actually pressure them to end. The UK Gambling Commission blocked access to all of the casinos, calling the operators criminals, but the response was too late. And even the takedowns didn't seem to do anything. As one casino owner said, many companies get sued, part of doing business. The sites vanished, but their owners are just waiting to shift their focus elsewhere. Roblox Predators. In August 2024, Roblox developer Arnold Castillo received a 15-year prison sentence for grooming and sexting a 15-year-old girl he met through his popular game Sonic Eclipse Online. But it was long overdue. 18 months before the FBI arrested him, Roblox users had identified Castillo as a predator, compiling evidence of his behavior while the platform failed to act on the insight they had been given. The victim's family described the lasting trauma on the young girl, with one sister noting that she struggles to leave her room or attend school. This horrifying story is one of thousands. In 2023 alone, Roblox reported 13,000 child exploitation cases to authorities in 2023, a massive 333% spike from 2022. At least 24 predators have been arrested since 2018, all of whom used the platform to target children. Their practices online are disturbingly similar to those that are used in real life, with the predators using the game's in-game currency to coerce minors into performing sexual acts. Investigations have even shown that darknet forums have entire guides and tactics all about bypassing the Roblox safety systems. But all of it starts and ends with Roblox itself. Current and former employees have publicly discussed the highly concerning gaps in security measures. Before 2022, Roblox lacked automated tools to detect grooming beyond extremely basic text filters. Today, things are slightly better, but not much. While AI can identify and flag overtly predatory behavior, it isn't sophisticated enough to identify the more subtle incidents. Moderators are forced to report hundreds of daily child safety reports despite being seriously understaffed. Some workers are reportedly concerned that growth targets are viewed as more important than child protection efforts, leading to rejected safety features like pop-up warnings and default settings that allow strangers to message minors. Every other year, there's a new lawsuit against the company alleging the platform remains a pedophile hellscape, with predators creating new accounts and joining groups trading child pornography. One 2023 class action lawsuit revealed internal documents that confirmed children as young as 7 were receiving highly sexual messages or racial slurs. The Castillo case was the most public and concerning incident of them all. He was a gifted developer who found a way to exploit Roblox's creator economy to profit from his access to minors. After his sentencing, Roblox overhauled safety policies and hired a child exploitation moderation team, but with 77 million daily users and a huge amount of them under 13, the scale proves impossible. One FBI agent suggested they should submit some applications to the FBI one day. Evan McConey. In December 2022, 13-year-old Evan McConey suddenly vanished from his Utah home. For weeks, he had been communicating with a new friend on Roblox named Hunter Fox. Their conversations had shifted from the platform to Meta's Oculus VR, and the tone had also shifted, becoming increasingly sexual. Hunter would refer to Evan as his lamb, promising cannabis and adventure when they met. But Evan's mother soon discovered the messages and immediately informed the police, who subpoenaed Twitter and TextNow to unmask Hunter's identity. But while they were waiting for the results, Hunter managed to bypass all of the monitoring platforms, convincing Evan to sneak out and flee the country with him. Surveillance footage showed Evan leaving his house with a backpack which contained his passport. Only after he was gone and the Amber Alert raised did the authorities finally get their answer. Hunter Fox turned out to be Aaron Zeman, a 26-year-old Arizona man. The two of them drove almost 800 miles to Nebraska, evading detection until a gas station clerk in Grand Island noticed how erratic Aaron was. He was constantly circling the lot, parking backwards, and lingering with a teen who seemed just as uneasy. Hours later, police found them in Aaron's car and quickly arrested him. The investigation soon turned digital, and Aaron's online footprint was as disturbing as anything else he had done. His active Twitter accounts featured graphic sexual posts targeting boys and direct references to Evan. He publicly vowed to marry my lamb during their trip, while others detailed explicit fantasies that broke multiple laws. And even though he had been caught before he could harm Evan, the situation had already gone way too far. Aaron's many aliases and platform hopping made it impossible to keep up, and Roblox, Discord, and Twitter were widely criticized for failing to flag his online activity. Aaron was charged with kidnapping and online enticement. Evan was physically unharmed but left with some trauma. And while his mom was grateful to the Nebraska clerk who called it in, she was furious about the systems that allowed Aaron to operate unchecked. The situation very almost turned into a deeply disturbing disaster. And if you want more disturbing video game icebergs, don't forget to check out our video on disturbing video games.